Are there limits to freedom of speech? Have you ever wondered if there are boundaries to what we can say? Freedom of speech is a fundamental right protected by the First Amendment in the United States. This right allows individuals to express their thoughts and opinions without fear of government punishment. However, this freedom is not absolute. Courts have established limits to balance individual expression with the needs of society. The First Amendment prohibits Congress from making laws that restrict freedom of speech. This means the government cannot limit speech based solely on its content. However, there are specific categories of speech that are not protected. For example, obscenity, such as child pornography, is not protected. Defamation, which involves making false statements that harm someone's reputation, can lead to legal consequences. Additionally, speech that incites violence or is intended to provoke a violent response is also not protected. Direct threats of violence against individuals or groups fall into this category too. Even speech that is protected can be subject to reasonable restrictions regarding the time, place, and manner of expression. For instance, a city might limit the use of loudspeakers in residential areas during certain hours. In educational settings, speech can be restricted if it significantly disrupts the learning process. This principle was established in cases like Tinker versus Des Moines Independent Community School District and later, refined in Morse versus Frederick. When it comes to public versus private spaces, speech in public areas generally receives more protection than in private spaces. However, private entities, such as universities or companies, may have their own rules about speech on their premises. In law school, understanding these limits is essential for analyzing legal cases and advising clients. Students often study how courts balance individual rights against societal interests. This includes examining cases involving hate speech or protests that disrupt public order. There are also specialized terms that come into play, such as qualified immunity. This legal doctrine protects government officials from lawsuits unless they violate a clearly established constitutional right. Content-based restrictions, which are laws that limit speech based on its content, are usually subject to strict scrutiny. This means they must be narrowly tailored to serve a compelling government interest. While freedom of speech is a cornerstone of democracy, it does have limits. These boundaries are designed to protect individuals and society from harm while preserving the essence of expressive freedom. In law school, grasping these limits is vital for future lawyers navigating complex legal issues related to speech and expression.